Hi everybody, Victoria here. So this dress I'm working on for the masquerade ball is really a project. And it is still very much a work in progress. I've been posting pictures of different ideas, and a lot of you guys have commented you like this, you don't like that. But I want to explain the type of dress that I'm making. I have a very specific silhouette in mind that I want to do for this dress, and I will show you a couple pictures. It is the natural form era. Hey Sherry, hey Bonnie, hey Roxy. So the dress I'm doing, it could change. Hey Terry. But I really want to do a natural form silhouette, which is slender through the hips. It does not have a bustle, but it does have a lot of ornamentation around the booty, and it always has a long, elaborate train on an evening gown. So I'll show you a few pictures just so you understand what I'm trying to accomplish. So here we go. So these are a few examples of dresses. Excuse, my printer was running out of ink. But you see the silhouette is very fitted in the bodice, very nipped at the waist, very fitted in the hips. It does not have the big hips that the bustle period had, except this one has panniers on it. Now these are two, here's an example of an evening dress. So some of you guys really didn't like the draping that I was doing, but the draping on the skirt, the front of the skirt, and in the hips, this was very common. This is almost mandatory for an evening gown of the era. So I'm still playing with it. I might end up doing something a little different, but I'll show you. I have my dress pinned together. I'm not happy with the bodice, but I'll show you what I'm playing with because it's quite elaborate. So this is where I'm at this stage in the game. I've been pinning and playing with ideas. So I have an underskirt made. I have this overskirt made. The underskirt is almost the same shade of lilac. It's peeking out here, and I haven't hemmed it. Today I've never worked with horsehair before, horsehair braid. Today I ordered horsehair braid. What it is, it's like crinoline. It comes in 1 inch up to like 6 inches. It's a, I think it's made of polyester, but it's used to stiffen hemlines, and it's used in high-end, like couture evening gowns. Any high-end clothing uses it to shape and stiffen the hemlines. I've never worked with it before, but today I ordered 25 yards of it for this darn dress. Hey Jennifer, hey Alicia. So, hey Alina. So I want to stiffen the hem. I want it to have a really nice, almost stand up by itself hemline. I want it to have a good solid shape. So here again, the skirts are sewn, but the draping is just pinned on. So this is what I'm playing with right now. I didn't do the really tight draping down to the knees. You see my skirt bells out more than these in the pictures. That may change, but you see the long elaborate trains. That is definitely what I have going here. I will show you. I have a long elaborate train, and as far as the back goes, I'm still working on the back of the dress, but here's one idea I'm playing with. So we have the train, and then I have, it's not a bustle per se, but it's that ornamentation. This is going to be covered up here. The bodice will come down over this. So this isn't set in stone. These are ideas. I'm just playing around. But I have to have something in the back. Okay, the bodice. I am not really happy with the bodice I made. I just don't like the shape of it. And I used up all my material, so I can't cut a new one. So I don't know what to do with it. It's okay. The only way it looks so plain. I mean, in this era, they had a lot of ornamentation. I'm trying to put it on my mannequin while I'm speaking to you. I should have the tripod in here. So they used a lot of ornamentation. So I can cover up, all these seams and things that I don't like. In the draping, I can put over the bodice instead of under it. which I would probably do. I'm just smoothing it out here. But here, I just stuck it up here. It's not even pinned. But the bodice is just so plain. It looks ugly right now. But when I have this this draping, this like apron over it, it looks a lot better. So, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with the bodice. And I played around with a new type of sleeve. These, I put a flower on it. I'll show you the sleeve. These are really, really cute. It's just a different type of short puff sleeve that was used in this era. This is called a chrysanthemum sleeve, which I'd never made one before, so I'll show you real quick. I already sewed a flower onto this. It's very much like a puff sleeve, only it just has gathers to the outside. Okay, see if I can show you a little bit better. This is a chrysanthemum sleeve, and if I didn't have the flower there, you could see the pleats. But I kind of thought the flower was a nice touch there at the end. I might take it off. I'll have to play with this some more, but I sewed the flower on the end. But I'm thinking about putting those sleeves. Oh, somebody just asked me about sleeves. So, yeah, that's the sleeve. If I do sleeves, that's the sleeve I'm going to do. But I'm not sure if I'm going to do sleeves or not. So, I have, the only fabric I have left to work with, I do have some of the embroidered netting that I was going to swathe over the bust. And it was prettier with that. I posted pictures. When I add that and a couple flowers, the bodice looked okay to me. So I might use that. The other thing I could do, and I don't know if it would mismatch because the shade is different. I do have a little bit of my lining fabric left, which is just a plain here. I'll have to hold it up. It's a plain lilac. It is a slightly different shade. So, let's see. When I lay that up here, let's see what I get. I mean, then the bodice would be plain colored. I don't know how noticeable those shades are. I don't know. I think it might be noticeable. It's just a slightly different color. I don't know if you guys can see. The embroidered fabric has a little bit more of a pinky tone to it. The other one is a little bit more purpley. I don't know. I don't think it would be... I just don't want to mix the colors. I don't think it would look good. So my other choice is to order more fabric, which I could have it here within a week. I hate to buy the embroidered fabric. I mean, if they have any more, this might have been the last one. If I can get more, it's only available in 5-yard pieces, so I'd have to get 5 yards. If I do that, I will rework the whole thing. Another option that I have is to redo the overskirt completely. Cut it down, make it smaller, eliminate the long train, I don't know, and use some of that fabric to make another bodice. I don't want to do that either, I don't think. So, yeah, Jennifer, it does look close, but I can see the difference. I can, and I don't want to see the difference. You guys can't see as well as I can. I don't think the camera's picking up the subtlety, but yeah, the plain taffeta is a little bit more purple. The embroidered taffeta is a little bit pinker. So I can see a difference. So I don't think I want to mix it. I don't want to add more gold, Jennifer. Like, you mean a gold bodice? I mean, maybe I could, but this has so much going on already with this really elaborate embroidery. I want to pretty much stay. I don't want to throw any more elements in there. You know, the netting is okay because that goes with it. That's embroidered, you know, to match. I think the netting, the embroidered taffeta, and I could use a little bit of the plain taffeta. But I really want to try to make this work with what I have. It's just when I'm using these smaller pieces, like that little bustly thing I made in the back, I was just using what I had left over. I didn't want to waste it. I needed some kind of ornamentation. I was going to use the whole piece on the back, but then I had to cut it because I needed something to put on the neckline. I wanted that netting on the neckline because I wasn't happy with the bodice. Otherwise, I would have had, I posted a picture earlier, I had the netting going all the way down in the back with some flowers. That was an idea I was playing with, but I had to cut the netting, so I couldn't do that. So I'm still playing with this. I know it's going to be a beautiful dress, but it's a lot more work because the other thing I had to do, I had to build a much stronger foundation. When you're dealing with a skirt like this, I don't want to be tripping all over the skirt. I have a very small hoop skirt under it, very small. It's a fishtail hoop skirt. That's why the bottom's belling out a little bit more than it should. But I have to have something to support this skirt because it just wants, all this fabric wants to collapse into itself. So I'm using that. It's small, so it isn't an exaggerated shape. I will tie it back behind the knees to try to make it a little narrower in the front. That's what they did to make those narrow skirts, is they had ties inside their skirts that pulled the skirts together, and they actually tied behind their knees. So I'm doing that with the hoop skirt also, trying to give it the right shape. So I'm going to do that. I know I'm going to end up with something really pretty. But I really wanted it to be more authentic looking than I think it's going to look. But I have to work with what I have. So we'll see. I think it's going to end up being kind of a mishmash, which isn't what I wanted. But it's all because I chose to use this embroidered fabric. If I wasn't using this embroidered fabric, I could have done whatever I wanted. But because of this embroidered fabric, it can only be cut in one direction because the embroidery is all just on one edge of it. So there's things you can't do. It has to have minimal cut. So I've really had to improvise a lot. So it isn't going to look exactly like I want it to, but I think it'll be really beautiful. So I'm waiting for my horsehair braid to see what I can do with the hemline. And I'm waiting to see if I can even get any more of this lilac embroidered fabric. If I can get more, then I'll do more with it. I'll go crazy. I'll do another layer. You know, I'll do another overskirt. I'll just go crazy with it. But I had to be really conservative. That's why those sleeves are so tiny. I was running out of material. So I had to find the smallest sleeve. And that chrysanthemum sleeve was popular in that era. So, Teresa, if you have any suggestions for me, I'm all ears. I see Teresa there. Yeah, Jennifer, I keep playing with it. I keep pinning things and moving things around. Right now I want to try to get the bodice figured out. I've played with the skirt enough for now. It's sewn together. The fit is decent. So now I have to figure out what I'm going to do with the top. So I'll be working on the top tonight and tomorrow. I was hoping to get this done by tomorrow because I have dresses to make for other people. So if I don't have it done by tomorrow, I'm going to have to put it aside, do a couple other dresses, and then come back to it because I do have 2 weeks to get it done. Well, less than 2 weeks, let's see. Or the event, we're leaving a week from Friday. So we're leaving on the 8th because we're going to spend the whole weekend. We're going to spend Friday and Saturday night at the Biltmore now. Hubby's idea, so yay. So we're going a week from Friday. So that does give me a little bit of time. I'm not in a panic, but this is a lot more work than I thought it was going to be. So for those of you who didn't see it, I'll show you again. I just have the skirt partially put together. I'll just show you what I'm working on. This is still very much a work in progress. So here's the front of the skirt. This is my Gilded Age outfit. Here's a side view. I'm in a small room, so I can't step back and show you. Here's one idea I'm playing with for the back. This could change, but it needs to be very elaborate in the back. So I'm going to do flowers and a couple bows, which they loved flowers and bows. So we'll see. Thanks, Teresa. Like I said, I'm so limited because I'm out of fabric. So I'm trying desperately to work with just the scraps I have left over. That's why I did that draping in the front. I had just a little rectangle piece, with all that pretty embroidery on the bottom. So I thought I've got to use it somehow. So then I looked, at some of the draping and the apron bustles and that kind of thing. So I kind of fudged something like that with it. And then the same thing with the netting. I'm definitely going to use the netting on the neckline, but I need to do something with the bodice. I really need to come up with some brilliant idea on the bodice. What I cut, it is authentic. I love these patterns from Truly Victorian. That's where the bodice pattern came from. And the underskirt, this is wild. The underskirt that I cut is almost exactly the same as the pattern I fudged on my own. So that's interesting. Terry, thanks about the back. I think it'll look better when I'm done. But again, I'm playing with ideas. I like it. I think it's very pretty. And I think it passes for the era. It needs to be tighter around the knees if I can do it. If not, I'm just going to leave it full. And I'm not going to worry about it. Because I have to be able to move in it, too. It's crazy. The train is crazy long on it. My wedding dress wasn't even that long, I don't think. So, all right, enough for tonight. I just wanted to share what I was doing, and hope you guys enjoy this. This is fun. It's a challenge. I like challenges, and, this is something I really wanted to do. Teresa, you said you like the cut of the bodice. I'll post more pictures, and I'll go live again tomorrow. I'm going to play with the bodice, and if I don't like it in the end, I'll cut a new one. I don't think I can recut this one though. I've got another pattern I could have used that's, the more typical V sleeveless bodice. I'll have to play around. All right, well, I will check in with y'all again tomorrow. So goodbye for now. Bye.